Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. Today was a wild Fed day, of course. I mean, I guess we saw it coming. I mean, I did warn about it. I did fall victim to some of the traps that were set this morning, and I did came back into the green. Now, for options, I didn't realize any profit, as you can see in Tastyworks here. I didn't place any new trades on Fed day. Fed day for me for options usually is a rough go, so I took a step back from options. I went more into futures trading. Now, futures trading, I did close up the day $138, which honestly on a day like today, not great. But early on, I'll show you some of my trades here. Early on, I was down this morning within the first, I think, hour of the day because I was shorting the rip on the NASDAQ. I was down about $700 and I came clawing back into the green. Now, and I mean, I did have a lot of trades, 121, but I am testing out. Probably should do it on the sim account, but it's just not as fun. So simulation account is what I mean by sim account. But I'm testing out some strategies to kind of automate my process, automate my flow, so that way I can be bigger, better, and faster when it comes to trading. And also making sure you're sticking to the rules. If you program your algo and your automated trading to do what you want it to do, emotion is going to be out of the equation. So if you made money today, comment below, got paid. If you lost money today, comment below, learned a lesson. And if you could do me a big favor, hit the like button for the YouTube algo. Also, links in the description if you want to join the UVH fam, to the Discord, options trading group, and the UVH Academy. So, kind of where I'll go over some of my outlook for this week, and we also have triple witching week as well. And this is tracking some of my trades. I know it's a little sloppy, but if I make it smaller, you're not gonna be able to see here. Now, where I got into the most trouble was right on this incline here. So this morning when we opened up, we dropped down, and I shorted the rip here. And I kept shorting it, and that was not a good idea. And this is where you can get into some trouble. Okay. What happened was I lost the bulk of that money right in here, the $700 right in this area, and it took me all day to make it back. So if you lose $700, that means you need to make another $700. I mean, it's like, basically you're taking a $1,400 swing into your account, profit and loss. Now, my goal today wasn't like to make all the money, but I was actually gonna like kind of hang it up, call it a day. But then I saw some opportunities, especially a lot of it we made back on this spike. So I made about $300 back in this, and then I made $400, which probably could have been more, but since we were getting towards the end of the day, and this was the whole Powell speech was going on, I didn't go in thick. Definitely should have went in thick. And this is where some more trades took place right in here. So I definitely don't recommend, like if you're up on the day, definitely don't recommend what I'm doing here. What I am doing here is I'm working on my simulated trade strategy. That's why there's so many trades in here. Also, if you don't see the market clearly and you're emotional, I mean, you don't want to continue trading. Like if you lose $700 and you continue trading, and you're a mess emotionally, you're mad, you're going nuts, probably gonna dig yourself a deeper hole. But for me, I know myself, I know my abilities, I know that in terms of $700, sure, it's a decent amount, but it's definitely within my wheelhouse to regain control. I wasn't feeling emotional, I wasn't mad. Was I disappointed? Yes. Was I thinking that I was gonna make money on those trades? Yes, otherwise I wouldn't have placed them. But I used proper stops, and I was able to, close out the day for a profit. Now, looking at today, if we're looking at, let's say, Qs, right, which I was trading the NASDAQ. The main thing with this here is it closed above the 50-day moving average. Today, it did hit the 50-day moving average, got rejected again, so I made a little bit of money off that rejection. And then when it went above it, I made some money when it ripped above the 50-day moving average. Now, here we're still, we closed right above the 50-day moving average. I don't think Qs are going to be making all-time highs tomorrow, because I mean that would mean it's literally got to rip like 20 points, which I mean I'm not saying it can't happen, but the likelihood of the NASDAQ making all-time highs probably not going to happen. But for SPY hit all-time highs today, could definitely drift higher. One thing I will say is Apple still closed red. I mean, it was down a little bit more than 0.5%, came roaring back. I mean, pretty much all day Apple sat between 122.50, 123, and then we had the end of the day pump with the Fed. Now, are we out of trouble here? I mean, we kind of already knew what Powell was going to say. I think the market was just looking for confirmation. I think the market was afraid that he was going to raise rates with, because we're with the vaccine, the looks like the recovery's happening sooner than later. But it appears that he's not going to be raising rates as more members foresee rate hikes in coming years, but not enough to change the forecast for none through at least 2023. So they gave us a promise. Now they could break the promise, right? They could break, like let's say we have a huge recovery, things are going crazy, then maybe they might want to raise rates to kind of, keep inflation off. But they're saying they're going to have no rates at least through 2023. Now, I mean, they also upgraded the GDP growth and inflation and cut estimates for the unemployment rate. So the economic outlook is up. They're thinking we're going to have a full recovery. Rates are going to be down. So that's why, the market reacted the way it did. And Powell didn't say anything to destroy us end of the day. I mean, I was actually surprised. It held. I didn't know if it was going to hold, because this pumped, looking at SPY, pumped from 394 up to 397 and then came back to 395. And people are like, bro, that's it. We're done. But it came roaring back. We got some really nice bull flags set up here, and SPY hit all-time highs. Dow hit all-time highs as well. If we're looking at the Dow, it's a lot. It's a lot. Looking at Dow here, still holding this flag. So I think tomorrow, with some of the fear gone, I mean, we have, if you look at VXX, VIX, I mean, this thing just cratered, right? This went from 20 down to 19. Now, if you look at VIX, I mean, we made a 52-week low here, which, I mean, it's not saying much if we go out to here, because we had COVID a year ago. But going out 2 years here, I mean, the 2-year low is 1103, which you could see right down here. And, so we got a little bit of ways to go. Now, for me, I don't want to go back down to 10, 11, or even sub. I remember 2017, we were sub 10. I mean, the market was moving like a snail. So I definitely don't want to go back to there. If we can stick around here, 15 to 20, I think that'll be good for day trading, good for volatility. Bulls, bears can make money, but who knows? It's looking like we're headed back down to 15 on VIX. VXX, it looks like the VXX actually did make a 52-week low, and also the 2-year low here. This is still lower than where it was. So this is down 1259 it closed at. So just kind of crazy. Some of the stocks that were moving today, Facebook, going to be watching for a trade in here tomorrow. Move really nice. I mean, it was holding up pretty well, pretty much all day. Back at 280, had a solid bounce. Let me change back to the 1 year here. Had a solid bounce off of the 200-day, 50-day, and now we're back up here. Now we're in resistance territory, so I'm going to see kind of what happens to Facebook here. Apple is lagging behind too. Apple looks kind of just like the NASDAQ, but below the 50-day, is above the 10-day. So I think that there might be a push. Maybe it might sell some premium down in here, might be a good thing, but there's been a lot of bad news regarding Apple lately with their MacBooks and their iPhones and stuff like that. So I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of eyeing up. I'm looking maybe to sell some premium sub 115, or maybe the 115 strike right at that 200-day. So I'm eyeing that. Amazon had a good day. They ripped up too. I mean, this thing gapped down at 30.65, 30.70, closed up, at 31.35, hit 31.73. I mean, Amazon also got an upgrade today to 5,000 target price. So I'm not saying that's what's going to move it, but I mean, it's been a rough go for Amazon holders, I will say. I mean, it's been chopping here, major consolidation. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it doubled in price over the last, on this run up here, and the whole thing just has been in consolidation, and people just got tired of waiting, and then they started selling. So, we'll kind of see what happens, but there's no doubt in my mind that we can't hit all-time highs and continue to hit all-time highs. However, the market's going to do what the market's going to do. You have to trade accordingly. Obviously, I'm bullish on the market, but we can still have some major red days ahead. So if you watch this video to the end, comment watch to the end, and as always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.